How's it going, everybody? This is John Johnson, about to get started here. So I want to make sure before I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody and then mute everybody back. Give you the ability to unmute yourselves later. That way we can all participate. Give me 1 second. Allow. Okay, there we go. And I'll go ahead and go to our screen and get started tonight. So we may not have a full hour tonight. There's not as much to go through, but we still do have quite a bit. Let me mute everybody again real quick. Go ahead and keep yourselves muted until we're ready to discuss. That way we don't have all that background noise. And let me find this PDF really quick here for you. I just had it up. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I just had it. Where did it go? This is an example of what not to do. I had the PDF up before the call started, so I'm not sure what happened to it. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. Usually I get it right up. So we're going to talk a lot tonight about prospecting, getting leads, how to turn leads into prospects, how to close your prospects, where to get them, different places you can go to online for different leads, all sorts of different stuff. So pretty full packed as far as prospecting and closing is concerned. So fishing versus hunting. So this was interesting. Fishing versus hunting. One of them's professional, one of them's amateur. And the difference really is if you're going after something very aggressive, for example, you're going deer hunting and you're just going out to shoot the animal or whatever. I'm not a hunter, but I know plenty of people who are. But anyway, if you go too aggressive at somebody and you quote what we call throw up on them, you're going to lose most of your prey. You're going to, in fact, you shouldn't even be looking at your potential prospects or potential leads as prey. You should be looking at them as potential business partners. And we really have just really human nature. We have the tendency to go and throw up on people. We call it machine gun mouth, motor mouth, whatever you want to call it. But we're so excited and we want to share our opportunity with everybody that we don't stop and we don't plan and we don't strategize correctly. And what we need to do is have a real plan. And when we speak with somebody, if you can learn how to bring up what you do in conversation and bring up your business opportunity in the flow of a natural conversation, so you're not targeting somebody, it just kind of comes up. And I'll give you several examples tonight of how to do that. You're going to close a lot more people because they'll feel like they were shared with and not sold. In fact, I signed up 2 people yesterday. I signed up 2 people today, and I wasn't targeting any of them. It just came up in conversation. And so, and I'll give you real examples of exactly how I did it. And it's just something that when you've been in sales a long time, you learn how to identify the times where you can speak about your company and your opportunity, and then identify times that may not be a good time. And you've got to get good at doing this. So just be honest with ourselves. I know we've all done this. I did this, especially when I was a newer salesperson, so I'm guilty as charged. Throwing up on people, I've done that. I don't do it as much anymore, just because I learned over the years, not a good idea. Ambush, the sneak attack. Just spamming them, sending them videos, inviting them to our Facebook page, and they don't know what it is. I can't tell you how many times, because I have to approve everybody that comes in. And so sometimes I'll see one person just invited 100 people or whatever. And I'm thinking there's no way that this individual spoke with all 100 people and told them where he or she was sending them. So they're spamming. That's what amateurs do. All you're going to do in most cases is upset people. And I know you're thinking, well, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. It is, but you've got to have quality. And you've got to be professional, and people will appreciate it. If you're going to invite somebody to the Facebook group, tell that individual first that you're going to invite them to that group. Use a Facebook group as a secondary contact, not a primary contact. You've spoken with an individual, they're interested, say, you know what, I'm going to send you to this group. In fact, you can use this to send your prospects to as well once you sign up. Go through the files section, walk them through the group, how it works, let them know. Don't ambush them. Don't do the sneak attack. It does not work. In fact, it backfires on you many times. Don't set a trap. Three-way call with an upline. No notice. Invite them to a disguise event. Tell them it's one thing and it ends up being another. All you're going to do is chase off friends and family and people. And then when you invite them to something else, they're not going to go. They're going to say, wait, I remember what happened last time. You're not, these techniques or these ideas and things, they've been used. A lot of people have used these, but they're not the best thing to do. Polite deception. Do me a favor. I want your opinion on something. How many of us have done that? Okay, I think we've all done that. Hey, I'd just like to get your opinion on something. Okay, and so it's that we call that polite deception. And so let's talk about some other things that pros do. So when you're fishing for a fish, the first thing you need is the desire and the intent to catch a fish. For example, if you're fishing for a certain type of fish, say trout, you're not going to go to the ocean to fish for a trout. You're going to go to a lake where you find a lot of trout. You've got to have the desire, the intent. You also have to be in the right location, use the right bait, and everything like that. You've got to have a plan. So if you go to this event or that event or whatever it may be, know where you're going, know who you'll be speaking with. We always talk about know your demographic, know your audience. Who am I speaking with? Because if you make the same presentation to every person, your closing ratio will it'll fall very fast because everybody's different. They all have different needs, different desires, just different wants. They're in different situations in their lives. That some people are already very happy with what they make. Maybe they're looking for something to help somebody else. Maybe somebody is struggling. They need to save money first, or maybe they are looking for that opportunity. But you've got to ask a lot of questions. You've got to know that person, kind of what we talked about last time. Get to know them first, and then help them understand what you may have that may benefit that individual. That's what a good salesperson does. He or she listens, he or she asks a lot of questions, and they'll personalize the message to that individual person or group, wherever they may be. So if I'm doing a presentation, for example, tonight I'm doing a sales training, so it's a different message, but if I'm doing a presentation in front of a large group, then yes, I'll talk about rNetwork and I'll talk about all the different things and I'll go through an entire overview, but that's because I'm in that correct forum. But if I'm speaking with an individual, I'm not going through the entire program with one person. I'm identifying what that one person may want or what may help that one person in that stage of their life. And I'm identifying that and I'm filling that need. That's what I'm doing. That's how you close people, and then they can learn the rest next. I can tell you the majority of the people on my team right now that I've signed up, a lot of them came in soft launch, but others I've signed up lately. I've given very, very little information to regarding the program in its entirety because it's a lot. It's a lot of information to share. But I identified what he or she may have wanted, and I filled that need. So for example, today I was speaking with an individual, and I asked him, I said, what phone service are you using? He said AT&T. Well, I know right now, not a knock on AT&T, but AT&T's coverage isn't always phenomenal. So I said, well, okay, you're with AT&T. How much are you paying every month on that? He said, too much. I said, okay, define too much. He said, north of $60 per line per month. I said, oh, that's interesting. I said, well, how many people do you have on that? He said, we've got 5 people. I said, so what, you're about $300 a month? He said, yeah, right around $300 a month. I said, interesting. I said, well, I said, you know how much I can pay through the savings program that I'm doing? I said, how much is that? I said, right around, roughly $25 to $30 a month per phone, per line. He said, is that full coverage? I said, it is full coverage. I get everything. So he said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, nope. I said, how did you do that? And I said, well, let me show you. And I pulled it up on my phone. I went through the rNetwork and I went right to rmobile and I showed him. I said, fill out this form. He said, oh, can I fill that out? I said, no. I said, well, what do you mean? Why can't I fill it out? I said, because you're not a member. I said, you need to become a member first and then you can fill this out. And then you can save. They'll help you save, and then they'll upgrade your phone to whatever, because his phone's a couple years old. I said, they'll upgrade your phone and everything. And he said, well, how do I join? I said, well, easy. And I pulled it up, and he filled it out, and I told him, I said, okay, it's going to cost you. I said, however, though, remember, you're paying $300 a month. What if we can drop you at about 125, 130, even 150 a month? You're still saving half. I said, is that worth $50 a month to you? He said, of course it is. I said, cool. I said, now let me tell you a little bit more about this program. I said, I just saved you this, and guess what? By you doing this, I'm making a little bit of money. When you buy that phone, when you save on that phone, I just made money. He's all, you've got to be kidding me. I said, nope. I said, I just made money. I didn't say 3. I didn't say 10. I didn't say matrix. I didn't say anything of the sort. I found an immediate need. He was paying a lot of money for his phone. That's one of the easier ones, in my opinion, because everybody's got a cell phone. But that was pretty much a conversation. And then I looked at him and said, Michael, okay, here's what we're going to do. I said, now that you're joining, you are joining the team with me. You understand that, right? He said, not really. I said, okay, let me explain this. I said, I just helped you save money on your cell phone. I just helped you get into a business at the same time. What we're going to do is, I said, you know me, Michael. I said, I love doing business. I'm an entrepreneur. I said, I want to help you build this business. Just like I brought you in, I'm going to help you bring other people in. He said, why would I want to do that? I said, easy. Because if you bring 3 people in, that $50 you're paying is gone. You're reimbursed. Now it's free. Now I'm saving you money on your phone, and your monthly is paid. He's like, oh, that's even better. I said, well, it gets better than that, Michael. I said, if you bring 3 people in, let me show you what happens after that, and I'm going to help you do it. And he said, okay. And then I showed him kind of the matrix a little bit. Then he got more excited. But that's how I sold him. They don't have to be long, drawn-out conversations. You don't need to lead with the card or the banks or this or that. Don't lead with the stuff that's not out yet. Identify something in their life that you can change positively. People love to save money. I signed up someone in my family because she travels a lot. So I asked her what hotels she likes to go to. We pulled up a bunch of hotels. I looked at some hotels. I found ways to save her money. Boom. Member. Same thing. I'll help you get 3. How are you going to do it? Well, I'll get on the phone with them. We'll do local meetings. We'll do whatever we did. I said, but the first thing you need to do is fill out the form, get your savings on your phone, get your own personal testimonial. I said, why? And I said, because they're not going to listen to me. They don't care about my testimonial because they don't know who the flip I am. I said, so when you talk to somebody, if you want to get them on the phone with me or you expect them to meet with me, they're going to want to see you save money first. Once they see you save money, then they'll buy in. And then if you have to sign them up as a fan, save them money to prove it, and then have them come talk to me. Whatever you need to do, it doesn't matter. That's what professionals do. Don't throw up on them. Don't trick them into meetings. When you invite somebody to a meeting, let them know what you're inviting them to. But give them benefits for coming. Give them a reason they should come, and don't just say, well, you can make a lot of money. Just come tonight. You can make a lot of money. You can become a millionaire. If you tell somebody they can become a millionaire, they'll give you a million reasons why they're not going to show up. It's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. Don't try to fool them. Don't trick them. Just be brutally honest with people. And they appreciate that. But share your savings. Identify what they may need. Now, I can tell you, obviously, once the banks roll out and we can do the business-to-business and stuff, I know a lot of us are licking our chops. That's going to be really, really great because I think, it opens a whole new world of possibilities for all of us, which is amazing. But we're not there yet. We're getting there. We're close. But in the meantime, let's perfect this stuff. So look at all these 25 different places to find leads. Circle 7 of them if you've printed this out. If you haven't ordered the book on businesssalesacademy.com, businesssalesacademy.com, order the book for $20, $20, 92-page download. Then you can follow through in these classes, and it's perfect. I don't make a penny on it. Don't worry, it doesn't go to me. I don't want it. I just want people to be able to have what they need to go through this. But you look at your personal list of friends and family. Who can you identify there that may want to save money? Business associates, people you've met. Those are great. Business associates are always amazing because they may help you build. Other people's events. Even if you don't have a guest, go there And then what you do, even if you don't have a prospect, show up to someone else's event, take pictures, interview the people afterwards, show people and post it on your social media. I was there. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Just kind of keep it simple, easy, but let people know you're active in the business that you're in. And eventually people may start asking you questions, or at least when you promote to them, they'll see that, hey, you know what? So-and-so is taking this pretty serious. Maybe I should listen to this. Because if they don't believe you're bought in 100% because they don't see you out there, they're not going to listen to you. Why should they? Facebook instant messages, Facebook ads, referral partners. For Facebook ads, you can YouTube. There's a lot of, in fact, I'm going to start posting some of my favorites for Facebook ads and YouTube ads and things of that sort. I've got some people that I follow that I like their work, and I've got other people I don't like their work as much. I'll start posting online on our Facebook group some of my favorites so you can learn, and from some of the pros on how to correctly place these things. But then again, when somebody reaches out to you, have a plan, have something to send them, have something to be proud of, and have a strategy. The best thing to do if you place a Facebook ad and they want more information, get them on the phone, schedule a time to go talk to them, and then turn around and put them on our Facebook page and navigate them, show them how to go through it, through the file section, through the pertinent information on there. Show them that we have a system so when they join, they know that they can send their people through that same system. Referral partners, pay-to-play strategies. Those are always a great thing. People, refer. Those are great for, especially in when the B2B comes out. Center of influence networking superstars. Listen to a bunch of people who have been there, done that. Go to the events. Go out and mingle a little bit. Go to some of the places. I met people over at a show in California a couple of weeks ago. Got a whole book of prospects standing behind a table. But I didn't have to have a table to go. I could have gone there, walked around, and met a bunch of people. Go to these marketing events, these different business events, because guess who's there? Business people are there. Go out there. There's so many places to get your 3, to get your 10. They're all over the place. Industry-specific associations with MLMs, LinkedIn, Instagram, meeting groups, meetup groups. Go to places online where people are couponers. Go to all sorts of different places you can plug into and just get out there. Lead capture pages, online marketing. We'll talk about that a little bit tonight. Chamber of Commerce, BNI, network after work. There's just the Toastmasters. Go to toastmasters.org, toastmasters.com. Check it out. It's actually a very good one. Very good one. I've used that in the past. Rotary clubs, trade shows, Craigslist, Eventbrite, all over. The 3-foot rule, talk to everybody. Just throw little things out there. If you go to a bank, talk to your teller, talk to the cashier and just throw little nuggets out there. Just get them ready. You're not going to close them usually at work. I've done it a couple times, but it's not easy. If they're standing behind a counter, if there's a customer standing behind me, obviously I'm not going to close them, but I might be able to throw out a nugget. There's a lot of different ways. Business leads, your local library, networking groups, purchase leads. Here's 3 different places. I'll keep this up for a second so you can write them down. If you ever want to purchase leads, mlmgateway.com, explosivegenealogyleads.com, leadpower.net, apacheleads.com. I don't personally buy leads myself, but I know a lot of people that use MLM Gateway, and I know people that use Lead Power. I have not had any experience in the other 2, so I won't speak on those, but I've heard of people having a lot of success on MLM Gateway and leadpower.net. But again, they have to learn how to close them. They need to learn how to speak with the people once the leads come. Because all a lead is a person's name and a phone number, contact information. A prospect is a lead you followed up on and has shown interest. That's what a prospect is. So decide which strategies you would like to use, and I'm going to go ahead, and you should be able to unmute yourself. If anybody wants to unmute, throw down share any other places that you've had success. Share it with the team. Where can we go as a team? That may not be on this list. Go ahead and share what you've done to get your 3 or events or whatever it may be, home meetings. Throw some ideas out.
Hey, John, this is Nicole. How are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I personally would love to hear about setting up small, intimate meetings and um, how you go about that, invitations, um, whether it be just a small little office space, something like that. That I would love to hear more about that.
Okay. So, I mean, what I've done, I've used my home, I've used offices. When I typically start, I'll start with a few people in my inner circle somewhere, and I'll just invite them to come share an evening. And say, look, I've got involved in this pretty amazing thing. It's got, I'm saving money. There's not a huge buy-in, and just give them a couple nuggets, a couple little bit of things, and just say, you know what, and know who you're talking to when you invite them. Again, that's the essential. Because if this is someone who's just not an MLMer, which a lot of people aren't anymore, some are, some aren't. Some love it, and you don't even realize they love it. But anyway, if they're not, just say, I've looked at this thing, I've tested it out, I've saved money. I think it's the coolest thing out there. Don't get overly excited where you're jumping off the walls and stuff like that, because then they're thinking, oh great, here we go, Nicole's lost her mind or whatever. You know, you've got to just stay calm and just say, look, I would love to. I'm gonna have a little gathering together tonight, and I want to share what this is, and it's really cool. Come check it out. Don't bring anybody tonight with you. Come check it out yourself. Let me know what you think, and just kind of keep it casual. Get a couple people there, 2 people, 3 people, just a few people there. Talk to them. If you get one, great, because again, every time you sign one person up, then guess what? Now you can start building their network, because everybody has a network. Everybody does, but
Hey,
you
John.
don't know how someone's network is until you've plugged into it. Yeah.
Can I invite AJ to AJ has already done similar to what Nicole is asking about. That's the Canadian team
Yeah.
that they're about to reach 100 in their group
Nice.
tomorrow, and they started what Nicole's asking about. And I would like to invite AJ to say a few words about how they got started and how they keep it going.
Yeah, great. Putting him on the spot here. Is he there?
He was just chatting with me, and
Oh,
AJ, are you in the group?
I see him there, but I don't see a microphone. Oh, I do see a microphone. There we go. Let me unmute. Okay, he's unmuted. I can't hear. Okay, well, if he can't go, that's fine. If you can, AJ, go ahead and chime in. And so he'll start chatting with you a little more, Laura, but it might be in all caps now. So I'm just kidding. So no, that's awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. You start small and you go big. Remember, I started my team Facebook page with 5 people. 5 people. Earlier this year, now there's over 6,000 people. So it's just you don't need to go out and bring in 100 people to your home the first night, or even 10 people. You can start with 2, 3, 1. Just however you can get there, get an audience, get a couple of people signed up. You did something great, Nicole. You invited somebody to come to our California event. You're in Georgia, and she may show up from California, and if not, we'll get her on the next one or whatever. We'll get on our call. But just kind of do what you're doing, being in these classes, and it's really learning how to talk to people to get them to an event without overwhelming them.
Right. I know she's got that, suffering with her kidney stones right now,
Right.
but I've kind of told her just to, you know, share the address and information with whoever, her family and friends that are out there. But I'm not pushing her, of course, because she, is pretty sick, and I'm not, I don't want her to ever feel like I'm putting her medical situation,
Right.
not caring. So
Yep.
anyway, but she's pretty cool. So we'll see.
Yep. So awesome. And then another thing you want to do, once people share any kind of interest at all, put them into a system. So here's different systems you can look up into a database. You've got the email marketing systems, text messaging marketing system, text message on your computer, or the old-fashioned spreadsheet that we all know and love, right? We all love those Excel spreadsheets. But make sure, and then write notes. I spoke with so-and-so on this day, and this day, and this is the interest he or she expressed, and that, because you need to follow up. Because where people lose a lot of sales is they don't follow up. And by not following up, a lot of people fall through the cracks. So you don't want that to happen either. Once you
Hey,
get
John.
them in, yes, go ahead.
Oh, there, I finally got through. I've been
Oh,
trying to
nice.
get
There he goes.
through. It wouldn't unmute me for some reason. No, I was just going to say in reference to what you were talking about earlier, we started a while ago and just with a few people, and basically we just started having meetings and inviting people out to the meetings, going over the comp plan and that, and just worked on building our team, and the team has just taken off like crazy. We've got some very, very excited people in the group. And I think our group right now, we have about a 90% closing rate of people that come out to the meetings. So it's just been a fantastic ride, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great synergy when you get a group together. We usually have about 30 or 40 people out to the group meeting, so it's great.
Yeah, and it can start small, correct? I mean, it can start really small with a couple people, and it's just amazing how quickly it expands when people start seeing themselves save. And AJ, he's in Canada right now. He didn't have all the savings we had here in America at the beginning. You know, they got and here they are out there building a big team. So hats off to you. That's amazing. You know, because they saw the vision of what we're doing. And I'm telling you right now, if we strategize and we really stay plugged in, and all of us on the call, I'm sure, are very plugged into what's going on with corporate and everything like that, which is the first thing you want to do, because you're going to see it's really identifying opportunities. When you speak with somebody, do yourselves a favor. Make a challenge to yourself this week and next. To every conversation I have, I'm going to listen more than I speak. What I mean by that, because you're going to listen for the indicators. You're going to listen for your opportunity to share this with somebody. And it's amazing. As soon as you hear somebody saying, oh gosh, I'd like to get this, but I'm a little short this month, or oh my goodness, I shop here and I'm overspending, or I did that. Listen for those little targets. Listen for those little just, plugs where you can jump in and say, you know what, wait a minute. I may be able to help you out. And don't jump down the throat. Yeah, you know what, come over tonight, let's talk. I think I can help you out. I think I've got something, I've found this thing, I'm saving some pretty good money on it. I've saved on my cell phone. I've saved on shopping. I've saved on different things already. And I think it's important enough that, you know what, let's see if this can be a benefit for you. And just give them a little bit and just say, look, what time would you like to come over? Let's discuss this. I'll show you on my computer what I've done, where I've saved money, what I've plugged into. I think this is great. Come check this out. That's one way to do it, and that's very unintrusive. That's not going to overwhelm somebody. And then help, if you can identify enough ways for them to benefit, whether that's save money, make money, or both, then they will listen. If you can't show them anywhere they're going to benefit, they won't listen. That's why it's important to know this inside and out, frontwards and backwards. Know what's in rperks. Look it up. I've gone through all 59 pages of rperks in my area. 59 pages of savings. I went through every single one of them. So now I'm very familiar with what's in rperks. So if somebody says, hey, I'm going to go get my oil change. Hey, before you do that, check this out. You want to save 10, 15 bucks? You want to save 20% here, 30% here, 50%? I hear a store, they talk, hey, you go there? Okay, cool. Well, how would you like to save next time you go there? How do I do that? Well, check this out. So you listen for that kind of stuff, and then just kind of go up into the conversation. And there's a lot of ways to get in and start these conversations, but don't walk right up to a person and say, hey, how you doing? Come over tonight. I got this business I want to show you. Then all of a sudden you see them running the other direction, right? So you don't want to do that. You got to let it come up in conversation and really listen. Take the next couple of weeks and listen very closely to every conversation. You'd be amazed how many times you have an opportunity to speak about our network if you listen first. Challenge yourself to do that. Less motor mouthing, more listening, and it's amazing what can happen. So save yourself substantial time and money with the system. Again, if you haven't been able to write these down, you don't need to right now, but again, you can go back, watch the recording, get that if this is something you're interested in. But I would always, anytime there's a prospect or a contact, always write it down. So the 5 steps prospect conversion system, generating sales within 24 to 48 hours. Somebody asked, Richard likes to ask this question a lot on the calls, how long did it take you to get your 3? How long did it take you to get your 10? How long did it take you to get whatever it may be? I had 74 people in less than 2 days. My first 2 days in this business, I had about 74 people, 48 hours or less. Because when I read this, I thought, oh my gosh, this was the stuff we're about to get into now, some of my favorite stuff. Because this works, and it works extremely well. And it's just by talking to the people. You go in there with an intention, and your intent is to decide to generate new business. So like I said, when you're speaking with somebody, listen to what they're saying and put yourself out there. Go speak with other people that you know that are in other MLMs. Don't be afraid to have that conversation. Even if they say no, you may learn something. Listen to what they have. Listen to their pitch. Listen to their, sometimes if you listen to their pitch, then guess what? They got to turn on and listen to yours, and don't even call it a pitch. It's an opportunity. Again, what we said last night, how honestly, how's that going for you? I just started this, so I'm starting, but how long have you've been doing this? Okay, really, how's it going for you? How much are you making? How much product do you have to sell to, make X amount or whatever it may be? Just learn about it as much as you can, and then just go in there and say, that's really cool, that's neat, but I'm telling you right now, are you having a problem with retention? Are you having a problem with retention? Find something that may be kind of the downfall of their business, if you will, or just something that they may be struggling with in their business, and then give them a solution for it. Gosh, if you're struggling, yeah, that business sounds awesome. You're working your butt off. Congratulations, it's amazing. But do you ever feel yourself struggling with keeping your team around? You lose a lot of people. How's the retention? How's this? How's that? And if they start saying, well, yeah, I mean, just kind of have a conversation and say, you know what? If I were to show you an online opportunity where I believe they really figured out retention, they figured out how that works, and it's a way to help people really earn quickly, not just one time, but month after month, or save more than they pay right on day one. I said, gosh, I just seem to have I feel like I may have an easier path to success. You may want to take a few minutes and listen to this. Just hear me out. That kind of thing. Those are soft touches. Those are soft lead-ins and way to get in without offending people, without pushing too hard, things of that sort. I never say 3. I never say 10. I never say. Now I know, they'll say, oh, just go get 3. Who get 3? That get 3. And to MLMers, that's fine. But when you're talking to the general population, the other 97%, that's not okay. It doesn't work that way. Now you can say, hey, if you go get 3, it's free. It's great. If you save money, obviously you want to share those benefits and you want to show them how to build correctly. The fastest way to build a team in our network, you go get your 3, you help them get 3, help them get 3, then get 3, then you circle back and start getting your 10. That's the best way to build our network. It is, because as soon as it's free for them, then they're like, oh, awesome, it's free. And then they can focus on helping their team and grow, and then go circle back, get your 10. That's fine to do, but I wouldn't lead with that. If you lead with that with the general person, they're going to run away screaming, But be specific to the number of prospects you intend to get each time. So if I go to an event, or if I invite people to my home, or I do this, or I do that, or I go to a club, or I go to a trade show, or whatever it may be, put a number in your head how many prospects you want to leave with, or how many prospects you want to have show up at your home, and work and work and work until that happens. Don't give up until you reach that number. I used to do that in sales innings all the time. Gosh, I've got 2 more deals to close. I got to close. Before I stop working the phones, or before I go home for the day, I've got to close 2 more deals. I need 2 more clients. And I wouldn't go home until I did it. That's just how it works. When I built my appraisal business, I will not stop calling people until I sign up 2 more mortgage companies or whatever it may be. And I would work the phone, I'd go knock on doors, do whatever it took to get that goal and make it a reasonable goal. But I did whatever it took until I got that number. And then I was okay. My work didn't end at 5 o'clock. My work day ended when my goal was achieved. And that's the way I've always done it. And so you got to kind of push yourself a little bit. Be aware of the people and the environment you are in. Pay attention. That goes back to listening. If I'm in an environment where I'm speaking with a lot of millennials, I'm probably not going to talk about the RX program a whole lot and rmeds. I probably won't talk about that so much. I might talk a little bit about the concierge service in the phones, in the autos. How cool would it be to buy a car online? You're a millennial. Would you like to save some money purchasing a car and not have to go spend half the day at the dealership? Man, we all know that sucks. We all know that stinks. That's tough. Millennials like things easy, simple, right at their fingertips. Know who you're talking to so you know what to talk about. Be flexible. You can control the process, not the results. What does that mean? What if you go into I don't know, maybe a trade show or whatever, and you're thinking it's one thing and it's something entirely something else? You can't control that. So just be positive or whatever, but make sure, hey, if you're in the wrong place, it's okay to turn around and leave or make the best out of it by just talking to people. It's amazing. And show interest in other people. Show interest in other people. The best people, if you want to really appear interesting, then be interested. Not be interesting. If you want to appear interesting, be interested. Be interested in them. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in, I don't know, manufacturing. Oh, great. What do you manufacture? Oh, cool. What got you into that? How long have you been there? Do you like it? What made you decide to go into manufacturing? Tell me about your family or this or that. Yeah, get to, be interested. And that's going to take down a lot of walls, a lot of barriers. Learn to talk to people, just a natural conversation. And then be the first to show interest, initiate conversation, and the first to draw. Oh, that's great. And then listen as they're talking about whatever they're in. And then as soon as they say, and I was looking at a new home, I was looking at a car, I was doing this, you see that they have phone, you can say, as you're listening to them and you're having these conversations, you can kind of see, the conversation, and you can kind of go in a little bit and say, oh, really, that's awesome. You manufacture this. What if they manufacture something that's in our network? Talk about it. Oh, you manufacture automobiles? Oh, did you know we have concierge service about automobiles? Oh, really? Of course they're going to be interested. They're in the car business. What if they have something to do with phones or mortgages or with a number of other things? Travel. What if they work in this industry or that industry? What if you lead with that vertical, lead with that one as opposed to something else? They'll probably show interest because they know a lot about that industry. There's a lot of, you've got to relate the conversation to them. You've got to make it relatable. You got to make it smooth and friendly and not be pushy and just say, oh, really? Wow, that's cool. You're into travel. Gosh, I travel a lot. I travel a lot for my business. Well, what do you do? Well, I'm in the savings club, and travel is one of the biggest things we save on. Really, how do you do that? Well, we just go in there, we become a member, and then I look up a list of hotels, if I'm going to hotels or Airbnb homes or cruises or whatever, now I even have flights. Once the flights are programmed in, they're about to be in. And I can save money on all of this. And this is all I have to do. And oh, really, that's cool. I'm not selling them anything. I'm sharing what I'm doing based on the conversation I'm having with them. Whatever is going to be the most relatable to that person, that's how you're going to gain their interest. Don't ask premeditated questions. What does that mean? Don't ask premeditated questions. The best listeners are the best salespeople. Why? Because you will ask questions based off of what they just said. Allow them, if they say, hey, I do this, I do that, ask them a question based off of that. Then tie it into our network. Don't ask because here's what's funny. Oh, I'm in the pork industry. Oh, really? Cool. Have you ever heard about an auto concierge? What does that have to do with pork? What does that have to do with it? You know, I all of a sudden you throw that, they're looking at it, you're like, are you even listening to what I'm saying? You know, if you have premeditated questions and you throw them, you kind of throw a wrench in the conversation. They're like, wait a second, time out. What the heck just happened? You know, what did I say? I said pork, not Porsche. You know, you got to listen and then plug in where you can, but never ask premeditated questions. It's going back to being thrown up on them or being a motor mouth. Can't do that. Remember that you are not qualifying them. Your goal is to get them to like you. Think about it that way. Your goal when you speak with a new prospect or lead, your goal is to get them to like you. Remember, what are we looking for? We're looking for business partners. People will do business with people they like, they know, they trust. Not people that are throwing premeditated questions at them and just, throwing up on them. They're gonna say, even if it's semi-interesting, they're like, I don't have time for this. Get them to like you by showing interest in them. That's how you do it. That's a great way to do it. Suggested goals in order to correct order. Whenever you begin prospecting, book a strategy with your ideal prospect. A strategy session. What do I mean by that? It's easy. So when you're talking to a prospect, first of all, identify who your ideal prospects are. We'll talk about that a little bit next as well. Who do you want? You've got a prospect, book a strategy session with them. Say, you know what? I would love to show you what I'm doing. Let's talk. Let's do this. If they don't have time now, book an actual appointment with them. Don't ever tell them, I'll call you later. Well, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you in 2 days. No. Hey, tomorrow, 11 a.m., let's get on it. I will call you. Here's my number. Give me your number. I don't have them call you. Tell them you'll call them. I will call you at 11 a.m., whatever it may be. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this thing right now and whatever. And then if you call them at 11 a.m., they don't answer, text them, say, oh, I'm sorry, you must have become busy. Let's go ahead and reschedule. Reschedule it as many times as you can until they finally pick up that phone. Just like if you go to a dental appointment or a doctor's appointment, they want to reschedule the next appointment before you leave. And then they'll call you. Oh, sorry, we missed it. Can we get you back on the books? Same thing. Because if you just say, I will call you tomorrow, that's too general. That's given too much time. Get an exact time and you call them at that time. Don't call them a minute late. Don't call them a minute early. Call them right at that time. Do it every single time. Say, man, this guy's persistent as heck, but you know what? He's punctual. He told me to call me. You know what? I better take his call. There's a lot of ways to just little things, little adjustments you do in your prospecting and your marketing to help generate a lead and add them to your marketing system. Again, the email, texting system, spreadsheet, whatever your system is, put them in that system. And that's how you do it. And ETC, not ECT, by the way, but that's okay. I didn't write it. I'm just going through it. Anyway, put them through that marketing system. Generate a referral partner, lead swap. There's generate, again, center of influence networking superstars. Look for my first 3 people on my front leg are superstars. In my opinion, they're superstars. That helped the team faster than anything. And let's talk about superstars. Red apples, green apples, brown apples, and rotten apples. What are you? Are you one of the 4? What are the qualities of a red apple? I can tell you right now, they're positive. They're extremely motivated. They're successful. Usually they're ethical. Someone you'd like to do business with. Those are red apples. Spend the majority of your time with red apples. If you want success, find someone who is successful either as a mentor, as a business partner. Spend the majority of your time with the red apples. They are the ones that are going to help your team grow the fastest. And they are the ones that you will be able to be the most productive with. And I know, because we're all humans and we all care about people, we love people. Well, I just want to build this rotten apple up. I want to do this, I want to do that. Think back in your life right now, how many times rotten apples have just drained the energy out. It's like they just suck the life out of you. You try and you try and you try and you try and just No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how much you want to help this rotten apple, whatever it may be in, because people could be red apples and some things are rotten apples and others, but whatever it may be, and you just can't get them to move, you can't get them to do anything. You want to help the rotten apples in your life, you want to help the brown apples in your life, hang out with red apples, make a crap load of money, and then turn around and help them other ways. You know, there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to help people in your family that are maybe rotten apples or brown apples. But you can't put those guys on your front line and expect them to just change overnight and become a new person. It's not going to happen. We have to be realistic. You got to go out and find yourself some red and green apples. And what I mean by that is go out and put yourself out there a little bit. I can tell you right now, I don't love trade shows. I don't love standing behind a table for 4 or 5 hours looking like a zoo animal. You know, I'm on display standing there. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Do you know why I went out there? Because a member asked me to go out there, and I wanted to support him because he's a red apple. He's killing it. I said, you know what? I'll fly out there. I hate doing those things, but you know what? I did it, and I had success there. I put myself out there. I stood behind that table, and I remember I was shipped 2 signs from our network, and one says the power of the network and become a charter member, and that was it. I didn't have handouts. I didn't have anything. I thought I was going to get handouts. I didn't. That's fine. I made the best of the situation. So you know what I did? Every single time somebody walked by my table, I was in pain. I was standing there. Literally, I had a hernia. True. And I stood there. Try standing in one spot with business shoes on for 5 hours with a hernia and tell me how good it feels. I was in pain beyond approach, beyond belief. But I stood there. I smiled. Every single time somebody walked by past my table, I said, I know what you're thinking. They said, what's that? I said, you're wondering what in the world we're even about. Because I had nothing to give them. Because what I thought was going to be shipped to me was not shipped to me. And that's fine. I'm like, you know what? I dealt with it. I walked out there with a handful of leads. In fact, I met Steven, who put this training thing together at that event. I met other people. I had met somebody who built an organization with Richard in the past of over 100,000 people at that event. I met superstars at that event. An event that I didn't even feel like going to, but I went because I wanted to support one of my red apples. So I went, and I'm glad I did, and I would do it again and again and again. If you put yourself out there, you push yourself a little bit, you go to places you don't want to go to, show up at meetings that even though you're tired, it's okay, because otherwise you won't be out there, you won't be present, and you won't grow yourself, and you won't grow your business. You've got to just get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Pretend you don't even have a comfort zone. Just jump right out of it, because honestly, your comfort zone is what's going to hold you back on anything you do. But there's so many ways to get your 3. There's so many different ways to do it. But try to get quality. I would rather have 1 or 2 really good people than 20 duds. Any day of the week. Give me 1 to 2 quality people versus, give me 2 red apples versus 50 rotten and brown apples. I'll take 2 red apples, please. To go, please. That's what I would do. But how do you attract that red apple? You got to become a red apple. You've got to come positive. You've got to be, let's scroll down here. Look at the bad apples. Don't go into social media groups, and if you're having a bad day, complain about something. Don't go and say, oh my gosh, corporate's taking too long, they're dragging their heels, they said this is going to launch now, but it just got delayed another month. Oh my gosh, they suck, they stink. What happens if you do that, and then somebody you invited, one of your prospects, is reading your post? They're thinking, well, wait a second, time out. You just invited me into this thing, and you're having doubts yourself. What kind of message are you relaying? And other people, they may be looking at that post or whatever. They're not going to want to work with you. What if they were thinking about working with you, somebody else, and they saw something like that? They're like, forget that. I'll go work with so-and-so. So-and-so's positive. Because guess what happens if corporate delays something? Sometimes that's good. It means that, maybe they're enhancing something. Maybe something else happened. We never know what's happening behind the scenes 24/7. Anything can change. Anything can happen, because that's life. That's how business works. they're 99.9% done with the contract. Someone can come back and say, you know what, let's do this instead, or let's change this, or let's adjust that, this or just that, or you know what, I'm going to bring more products and services onto this, so it's going to take another couple of weeks, or whatever it may be. It could be anything. But we can't just jump to conclusions and be armchair quarterbacks and say, oh my gosh, these guys stink. Because if you look where this company was back in May versus now, it's so much different, so much better than it's already been. We're still in pre-launch, for crying out loud. Always stay positive. Always stay. If something changes, I can tell you right now, I promise you this. If corporate announces something and then they come back and say, oh, it's going to be another month, do you know how many phone calls I get, text messages, messages on Facebook and other groups that I get? And what do I always say? You know what? There's got to be a good reason. Just wait. Just relax. Just chill out. I don't show frustration. I don't show it. Even though I might be saying, oh gosh, I mean, yeah, obviously I'm like, oh, okay, well, that stinks. But there's always a reason. And you just have to know that, and you got to move on. You got to be that red apple. If you want to attract red apples, be a red apple. Because if you're a rotten apple, there are no red apples coming your way. I can tell you that right now. It's just not going to happen. You got to be one of them. You got to be up to the standard that they are to attract them to want to do business with you. So a lot of different things you can do. I would go back here and we'll wrap this up. Be specific with who you want to meet. Target certain types of people, not people themselves, but types of people. Go after them. All these different ways right here. Craigslist. Here in Utah, KSL.com is another place. Learn how to, before you write an ad, go to YouTube. Do yourself a favor, go to YouTube and learn how to write proper ads. I'll show you, again, I'll post some stuff on YouTube and Facebook and different things from guys that are just monsters on Facebook and YouTube that I like, that I've followed in the past, and I'll throw so I give you a lot of ideas. But there's a lot of ways to build your business, and even before a funnel system, all that. Talking about funnel systems and everything like that, I spoke with Fusion again today. They're very, very close. People keep asking me when that's launching. It's still set sometime in November, probably next week, most likely right after Thanksgiving. It drips into the first week of December. I don't know. I'm super, super close, because I can tell you right now, though, and kind of give you an idea. If I can share this, share, see if I can find it right here. Okay, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. We are working with one of the top agencies in the country, one of the top 100 globally, #1 in Utah. Yes, we're going to get leads. Yes, we're going to start spreading the word like crazy. I just spent an hour and a half today reading over 7 blog posts that that Fusion wrote for us, and 15 articles that they wrote for us to get us started to up our search engine optimization, our SEO. And I had to approve them all, or get them approved, so that they can move forward and start putting together a big social media blast for our team and funnel everybody into our team website so that they can get the information. And this website's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's going to look really, really good. And it's going to help us. The way we're doing it is we're putting links, and we're just, as people get their 3 people are just going to keep dropping the links down and down and down and down. If people show interest and they're going to be out there and they're going to work leads, yes, I'll hand you leads. I will if you're willing to work for them, but you've got to, the fact that you're here on the training, that's a great sign to me, because it means, yeah, let's go ahead and help fill this person up with leads or whatever. Look at the products and services on this thing, as they go through the rperks, the rbank, the rtravel, the rmeds, rPetRx. This is what I've been working on, the concierge services, rauto. They're going to have their videos that they make. They're going to put corporate videos in there as well. So very similar to what corporate rolled out. Now it's but corporate rolled out something smart. Roger was the marketing director over at NASCAR. It's funny because I've been working on this project for months and it's been on hold, and this is kind of what it's looked like the entire time. I like the corporate's website. I'm like, man, that looks a lot like my website. I thought that was cool. It means we're on the same, we're thinking the same way. It's easy to follow. It's easy to read. It's easy to understand what it is. And when you do your marketing, we're going to give you a lot of samples. As Fusion starts, when they place ads, I will place the ads on our team Facebook page. When they do different blogs and stuff, I will place them on our Facebook page. As we do videos, I will share all of their videos with you, every single one of them. My goal is to help this team grow as much as possible. So these right here, you see, you've got the guy traveling right here, and then the screen changes, and then you've got our auto right here, and you've got different things. Now, obviously, these, we're gonna have to change the names in here because when we first started, we were gonna go a different direction as far as discounts and stuff. But you've got the gentleman on the airplane there, and everything we're gonna do, that takes you to the video if you click on that card. But it's easy. Oh, I want to learn about the digital bank. Click there. Discount app. Click there. Discount savings portal. Click there. Oh, or I can click here for learn more about rNetwork, or I can rVision right here, or here's all the products and services up here. You can also get to them right there. There's 35 different ways to get to our products and services. Easy, easy, simple. Go to our mortgage. Now it's not complete yet, so it'll take you here, learn more, but obviously they haven't completed this yet, so it says our auto, obviously they're going to change it to our mortgage and stuff like that. So as this is complete, we're going to have a beautiful team website we can send people to. We're going to send the traffic. When they click more information, it's going to come right into us. We're going to get that lead, and we're going to funnel them right through our teams, right down line, boom, 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 boom. But that's how we're doing our marketing, and this is a beginning. When we talk about the bigger it gets, the better it gets. As we get 10,000 people on our team, 20,000 people, 30,000 people, you better believe it. I'm going to go say, you know what? Let's start paying for YouTube ads. Let's start paying for this and that and that. And I have no problem putting money out there for my own commission because I consider it my team's commission. We go out there and we just grow this team professionally. And everything I do in marketing, I will share with this team. Everything. And everything corporate has. Corporate's got some great tools now. Use them. You can get your 3 people and you can help them get 3. The way you do it, you get them in, you help them with the tools, you get them on our team Facebook page, get them on this training, there's your duplicatable system right there. Hand them the tools, get them on our team page, plug them in and get them on these trainings, and you will duplicate your teams. I can promise you that. That's a duplicatable system right there. Because no matter what, if people cannot learn to talk to people, they cannot learn to sell properly and promote properly and things of that sort, they will never build a large team. It won't happen. Your team, the better, Richard said it today in his video, the team that's the most well-trained will be the largest team. He said something like, if you want to build a large team, train your team. And that's what you need. Every single person you bring in needs to be trained. You train them properly, and I promise you, honest to goodness, I promise I know what I'm doing. Our team is just about to reach 7,000 people already. 7,000 on our team. The methods we use, they work. The stuff we preach, we practice. And we're very serious about it, and I'm very thankful that we have people showing up at these. They're watching them offline as well, which is awesome. But what we've got coming for this team and what we've got coming on the corporate side as well, this is phenomenal, guys. You guys are definitely in the right place at the right time. We will see you next week. California, get people to Loma Linda, California. I will post that today, tomorrow, and Friday again, leading up to the event to promote the living heck out of that thing. If you haven't seen the other trainings, go back and feel free to watch those, and we will talk to you next time, guys. See ya.